in your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video, and today I'm just going to do a quick little review of SilverWolf. If you happen to like the content, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff would be greatly appreciated. So as much as I love SilverWolf and I do think that she is a really good unit, I do want to emphasize that if you do intend to progress this game a little bit more quickly, and you don't happen to have a second healer on you, I do think it's wise to invest in Luacha since he is the only other healer that's coming up. And it is pretty recommended that you bring at least 2 healers in order to clear the Mirrors of Chaos. Anyways, if you already have 2 healers, I do think SilverWolf is going to be a pretty good pull for your account. Her debuff abilities are just really strong. Her E-skill has a chance to inflict another weakness on the enemies, which is really good because if you're able to inflict weakness damage to the enemies, you'll be able to break their shields. And breaking the enemy shields gives you a huge advantage of the game, and SilverWolf basically gives you an access to that. Don't get me wrong, it can be kind of annoying if you get like the wrong weakness on the enemy. It can be annoying at times, but sometimes getting the wrong weakness can benefit you in case your healer doesn't need to heal that turn. Either way, the utility of adding a weakness to an enemy is just generally really good. No other character in the game can do this, only SilverWolf can. You normally wouldn't break an enemy's shield because you don't have SilverWolf Bronya, but with SilverWolf Bronya you'll be able to break that enemy's shield, and thus this will give you a bigger advantage in battle. Another utility under SilverWolf's belt is her ability to debuff an enemy through her basic attacks. She'll be able to lower the enemy's attack, lower their defense, or lower their speed. These basic attacks will come in handy once you break an enemy's shield, because when you break an enemy's shield you don't really need to inflict another weakness on them since they're already down. So this is basically a perfect chance to use SilverWolf's basic attacks in order to debuff that enemy. This debuff lasts for 3 turns, so it's a pretty good amount of time, or I guess turns I should say. And depending on how fast your SilverWolf is, you'll be able to debuff the enemy as much as you can. I heard the standard Bronya and SilverWolf Bronya work pretty well together because you can basically use standard Bronya's skill on SilverWolf in order for her to do a basic attack again, and thus debuff the enemy even further. It's also another way to inflict another weakness on the enemy, so if you manage to like get unlucky with inflicting a weakness, you can use standard Bronya's skill in order to get SilverWolf another turn. I did try experimenting with this team a bit, but because I'm lacking a preservation character, I kind of die more often. I use Trailblazer as my preservation character since they are pretty good. I don't think they're as good as Gepard. I don't have Gepard unfortunately, so I wouldn't be able to use the double Bronya combo that effectively. Anyways, the double Bronya combo does sound pretty good. I do think SilverWolf performs really well if you have 2 team members that are of the same element, since SilverWolf will have a 2 in 4 chance to inflict that element on the enemy. It will probably perform even better on mono teams if you have 3 characters of the same element, since you will have a 3 in 4th chance in order to inflict that weakness on a specific enemy. I do think that SilverWolf will be a staple in mono teams since she's the only character that can inflict a weakness on the enemy. Himiko could actually be pretty good in the future once we get a fire healer. We just have to slot in Asta. Asta is pretty good at breaking shields, and then SilverWolf Bronya obviously. And you have a pretty deadly fire team right there. Kind of reminds me of Kazuha in Genshin Impact. He is pretty good at mono teams, so SilverWolf Bronya is basically like the Kazuha in Genshin Impact. SilverWolf can also reduce the enemy's resistance to an element that she inflicted that element to. This lasts for 2 turns, and that's a pretty good skill right there. If you're running a mono team, your team is basically getting a boost from that, and if you're not running a mono team, your random team member is going to get a boost from that as well. And the last major part of SilverWolf's kit is her ultimate. Her ultimate basically decreases a single enemy's defense for 3 turns, so that provides a huge advantage to your party members. If the enemy has their defense reduced, you'll be able to defeat them a lot more quickly. And if you can combine this with her normal attacks, if her normal attacks manage to lower the enemy's defense, that's even more defense lowered, and thus more damage dealt to that enemy. Now, if we could compare her to other nihilistic characters, let's first compare her with Welt, since it would be fair since he is a 5-star. Now, I don't have Welt, I'm just going to be going off as what I know about his kit. Welt basically decreases the enemy's speed, which isn't bad in itself, because if you can decrease the enemy's speed, you'll be able to, have more actions against that enemy in a turn. So lowering the enemy's speed, that's pretty good. And not to mention, since he is a standard character, he will be able to spook you later down the line in the future, while SilverWolf can't. She's limited. So if you don't get her etalons now, you'll be able to miss them for quite a while. So you might be able to get more etalons for Welt since he's a standard character. SilverWolf does have more utility than Welt. She can basically decrease the enemy's attack, defense, and speed, and can inflict another weakness on the enemy, while Welt just only lowers the enemy's speed and imprisons them. I do think SilverWolf is better, but I'm not downplaying Welt either. Welt is a pretty strong character. He is the only other imaginary character that we have at the moment, so he's able to break imaginary shields, but then again, SilverWolf can, add a weakness to an enemy. But it's not like you have to replace Welt with SilverWolf. You can use both of them on the same team if you wanted to, or maybe even put Welt on one team and SilverWolf on the other. Now, as for Kafka, Kafka does things a little bit more differently. She's more damage over time oriented. So if you pair her up with characters that also deal damage over time, like Serval or Sampo, she's going to be a big boost to both of those characters. Kafka will be more optimized for damage over time teams, while SilverWolf you can basically put SilverWolf on like any team. I do think SilverWolf will have better usages than Kafka, in my opinion, since Kafka is only for damage over time. Now, for the 4-star nihilistic characters, I don't think it's like a really fair comparison since, they're 4 stars while SilverWolf is a 5-star. In conclusion, SilverWolf has a lot of utility under her belt, which makes her placeable in a lot of different team comps. Either using a mono team or just like some other team, she's going to be really good if you place her in like almost any team. Since SilverWolf's kit does inflict debuffs to a single target enemy, she's going to be really good if you pair her up with hunt characters, since hunt characters do specialize in single target and SilverWolf basically debuffs single target. Pairing her with a hunt character is going to be really great. With other hunt characters coming out later down in the future, she's going to work pretty well with them. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this review for SilverWolf. Let me know what you guys think. Agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments. If you happen to like the content, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye now. Come again soon.